And so, we're going to finals, and we've got Lazybear and DOWSEY. And I'd like to point out, these were the top two of Challenger last season. DOWSEY winning Challenger, Lazybear winning the Challenger tournament.
Yes, right. So the people who didn't finish at the top of Challenger in the regular season went into a tournament. So it depends on how you want to look at it, right? In some sense, Lazybear misses the cutoff, but then he wins the tournament, which is in some ways just as impressive, right? Because he had to play all those extra games against some very good people. Not against DOWSEY, mind you, but...
True.
Right.
Lazybear did join late, so it would have been hard for him to, be second seed in Challenger overall.
Yes, exactly.
But so I honestly count him as next to DOWSEY top of Challenger last season. So both these players,
Yeah, the Challenger regular season winner against the Challenger tournament winner. Pretty fair to say that they had the most impressive overall seasons in Challenger last season.
And I heard you had stats, because I like hearing stats.
Well, it's basically the ones I already gave you, actually. Specifically, the overall win rates and things like that. But I will point out that no matter who won this matchup between Turnip Boy and Lazybear, DOWSEY went 2-0 against both of them.
True.
David W., one of the few players, one of the 1/3 of his opponents that he didn't go 2-0 against, and for a while it looked like that was going to be pretty significant, but he swept Lazybear in, swept 2 games, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's something.
Did anyone go 2-0 versus DOWSEY? Can you enlighten me on that one?
Apparently, I somehow managed it. Only 2 of us did all day. I did with some really goofy nonsense, frankly. I barely shot him for a late swap. He almost got away with it. That's sneaky DOWSEY. And then I think Watermeat, who was the last person he played, DOWSEY definitely did seem to wear down a little bit. The whole thing took about 3.5 hours, and just in terms of stamina, I think some of us in the back half had a slightly easier time of it, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though I was in the back half, he was one of my last matches, and he still O2'd me. So
he's still really scary. Don't get me wrong. I would say the Shark, the second scariest thing in this final match. And I say that as someone who is deathly afraid of sharks. So thanks for this new map, Checker. Really appreciate it. DOWSEY is letting us know that Lazybear's going to take a very quick break, and they're going to let us know when they intend to start. So it'll be just a minute or two.
Yes.
I think you're doing a great job. Yeah, especially for a new host. I think you're doing a great job. I really appreciate it, Yeesh. And thank you certainly to Yeesh for giving of his time and effort here, and to you as well, Opie, for watching these crazy, crazy games with me. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you organizing this. These one-day tournaments are a lot of fun.
Yeah, they definitely are. And speaking of crazy, crazy games, they're whispering they're ready, and we're just hopping into it.
Wow, that was a pretty quick break indeed. I'd expect a quicker break from someone named Lazybear, really, but a longer break, rather.
A longer break, yeah.
Yeah, a longer break. Lazy even about the breaks. Can't even bother to break for very long. Good grief.
DOWSEY playing Taff! Here it is!
No.
Using his own strategy against him!
I assume the head game is play Taft and then just play a boring straight game, actually, at this point. Kind of like when you pick Smallman in order not to do anything.
Alright. Here we go. Nothing happening yet. DOWSEY leaves this conversation. He doesn't. It's so boring. What? He moves right into another boring conversation. DOWSEY, don't you know they're talking about like their last visit at the dentist over here?
Yeah,
that's a terrible story.
It's really bad. Yeah, I don't know. Fishing for a low light, maybe. That's the kind of thing DOWSEY would do especially against someone with behavioral tendency. What?
I think that's what he was fishing for. That was an insane reverse drive-by bug.
If that's deliberate, it's pretty interesting, especially because, as we talk about, you just don't see that many bugs on Aquarium like that because they're usually, less visible ones.
Yeah, that is some incredible setup. And there's no way he's, I think being credited for it. Although I guess he was kind of behind the ambassador just now. We do get more suspicious for
So here's the thing. When you feel like you got away with the bug, I like to see what the spy does next. Do they press, right? Do they full court press and start to finish missions, start to make that progress? With the fingerprint and the inspect, he is just charging ahead here, I think.
Yeah. And I think he might be going over here to DOWSEY a little bit.
Yeah, you
The
gotta get that
question
first
is,
seduce in now if you want to hurry up.
why? I don't think you really want to be doing both statues and fingerprint unless you're going for a silent game. Silent games are strong to be sure, but I think there's something to be said that going for both fingerprints and both statues is a little bit weaker sometimes.
It can be. It really depends on the type of sniper, right? It is surprisingly hard to shoot without hearing banana bread. It really is. There's a psychological thing there. Some snipers more than others, certainly. I will say they're going to have to adjust, though, because silent games, much more plausible on Aquarium.
Oh, we break some serious etiquette there. We talk and then we just leave right outright. Now, we were behind the shark largely
Yep.
for it, but we
Yeah,
like
no, that was
the
visible.
break was
for
visible.
Sure. It was. It was. There's a bit of a risk there, no doubt about it.
We do get to pick up that second fingerprint, and now we're going next to our destruction target. 34%. A white test is just barely good enough.
This is really hurting him. That's 2 white tests on the flirt. If he'd hit greens on those, he'd be able to basically finish whenever.
I think he actually hit a green earlier. It just was from far away.
Oh, yeah.
No,
So, the flirt is giving him trouble. But there we go. It's done. It's done. And is he just going to dump this book? Or
I doubt it. That seems like your weakest option here, right? It's just contact.
There it is. And that's
you know
going to work. Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be DOWSEY 1-0. There's no way.
Just clean. Just an invisible bug. Partial progress on the inspect. Fingerprint done. Real clean. 1 zip.
And I think DOWSEY noticed a little bit that Lazybear was very cognizant of shooting as the spy goes to their second statue visit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there
were
a lot of those shots. Yes.
Yeah, the same thing that you mentioned with BB, how their shot timing revolves a little bit around the BB, or kind of might apply to Lazybear here. The shot timing revolves around seeing someone who's been to statues once go to that second statue.
Right. So if
that doesn't happen,
yep, you know they're done with that, and you know if it's a back statue, they could swap while they're there. And you are crediting bug very often. So how do you avoid that? That's very difficult.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons not to complete inspects sometimes. And it's one of the reasons I mentioned earlier, DOWSEY, as a spy, likes to kind of avoid that. Avoid the obvious ways to finish when he can help it. And against someone like Lazybear, that seems like it might work pretty well.
We pick up a highlight and then a neutral light. I'm not sure why. DOWSEY's lights have been very interesting.
Let's see. Fluid is definitely the word you're looking for. Wink, wink. Yeah, they are very fluid. And again, it's one of the reasons he's so scary is you can't bank on it. You're not going up against someone saying, "Okay, I have gone to statues once, therefore I am a highlight. I know this for a fact."
And 30% flirt here is a little bit rough. That means we do need a green test if we want a 3 flirt, but it's not the end of the world, obviously. So get ourselves our delegate option, and that's our first minute of the game gone. 1 flirt, 1 statue, and possible delegate going on.
It's not bad though, as we've talked about, and as we all sort of noticed yesterday. 4 minutes, plenty of time. Could probably be 3:30. 3 might be pushing it a little bit, but certainly a lot of time to waste, and it makes sense to sort of waste it. And in this case, it's not even entirely wasted. So I like this start from Lazy. When I managed to win that spy game off DOWSEY, one of the things I did is I think I stood in one place for literally 2 straight minutes at one point. You just sort of got to get off the radar. You don't want to be in the back of his mind there, heading into the end game.
Red.
Contact. We aren't seen talking. We can't be seen talking here, so we can just stop talking if we want. We do it after the shark is a little bit by us, and highlight for real BB.
There it is. DOWSEY's doing it again, and he's got it down to 6 based on that.
I'd like to mention that, again, we're playing Taft.
Yes. Yep. Is it random? I don't know.
Is Taft an overpowered spy on this venue? Let's find out.
I think he was until we talked about it for a couple hours yesterday, maybe. The meta shifts as soon as you recognize the meta.
Oh man! In a game like
working
this,
the moment you say it's working. Yeah.
In a game like Spy Party, that is the absolute truth.
Yep. The only real meta is the stuff nobody's saying. That's how it works.
Exactly.
When you say it out loud, it ceases to be true any longer.
Schrodinger's meta.
Yeah, it just flips.
All right.
Now, you know me, Opie. You know I love me some partial progress across multiple missions, because at some point, the Amba goes and does something or something like that, and you just get to domino affect your missions. Just boom, boom, 2 or 3 in one site. You need a little help from the party sometimes, but you put yourself in a good opportunistic position like this with Lazybear, and you get one little event, and then it all falls.
Yeah, I think we might have been flirt paired here, actually.
But it's okay because he's done.
Yeah, now that he's done, he won't be next. He shouldn't be next to you, at least.
He shouldn't.
Anymore.
Yes, I would. I am totally fine with all of you snipers out there flirt pairing me on my final flirt. Please do. Same statue as before, I believe. But it's for the fingerprint.
Yeah, so he's a fingerprint.
So he can't resist it, and I wonder if he remembered, oh crap, I can't.
Wait, he didn't even fingerprint.
What is this? Doesn't even matter.
You just get shot for it. Yeah, 2-0. 2-0 DOWSEY.
DOWSEY's just too on him for etiquette, for little things, for general spy-like behavior. He's just too good at that. I
think that perhaps that might have been a quick walk away.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's cumulative, because that's what happens. If DOWSEY gets onto you for something like that, he watches and he says, if you're spy-like, you'll do this and this and this, you won't do that or that. And if you never give him a reason to rule you out, and you give him a lot of little reasons to keep looking at you, at a certain point, it's just like, this is either a really goofy AI, or it's the spy. And DOWSEY correctly concludes it's the spy. Apparently, living dangerously with Alice, even though he's up 2-0.
Picking all these fast characters, right? I don't think DOWSEY realizes he can't flirt from this spot. Oh, you can. Wait, hold on. I was lied to. You can't.
Wow,
flirt from
just barely. Look at that. And
okay.
Picking the fast character.
I am aware that you cannot flirt from the other side of the bar because I tried once and it didn't work. But apparently you can do it from the right side.
Yeah.
And now I'm confused. Checker, please fix.
The caddy corner flirt. Yeah. And Alice, as quick as she has been fatal, walk fast, die young, I guess.
Ooh, DOWSEY does the animation break, but he doesn't walk away immediately, so it looks like a proper reject. Ooh, but he misses the pad a little bit in this conversation. Does he get noticed for it?
I'm really not sure, and you're not going to see any reaction because it's not a mission anyway, but we're seeing actually a lot of little micro mistakes from all of our competitors tonight.
That's a contact, and there's only one conversation that you can realistically think has a contact right now, right? And Lazy's just going to assume real, I think, on a lot of this.
Yeah, mentally, if I'm lazy, I'm just thinking, you know what? If Rocker stays there for 30 more seconds, I'm going to low light her too.
Yeah, Rocker was a highlight previously, I believe, which is why he didn't.
But I'd say do one more AI thing, waste enough time, and Rocker should go with the rest of them. Unfortunately, she's moving, but there's the Purloin. It's on the twin, the double agent, as a matter of fact. So he's delegated to the double agent. It's not a case of delegating to someone to frame, and it turns out they're the SDA. Uh-oh, bad luck. He delegated to the double agent specifically.
Oh,
and the other twin gets shot.
Shoots the other twin. I think Lazy didn't actually see who was the one taking it. They just saw that that the other twin had just gotten a drink and the list was gone. So he shoots, and that's wrong. It's 3-0 DOWSEY. And if trends hold true, Lazybear is going to win this set.
DOWSEY's in huge trouble. Huge tactical error going up 3-0. Obviously, clearly. Does he not watch these games? Oh God, it's another Alice.
Is Lazybear just copying him at this point? This is Lazybear's strategy to. And he does even does the same turnaround at the beginning of the game.
Yes, DOWSEY did it at almost exactly the same spot, and he went to the same bar spot. What is going on? Listen, just because in the menu it says mirror last game, you don't have to take that so freaking literally. My God. Oh my God, what is this? Oh, the memes. Oh my God. Well, so DOWSEY's up 3-0. And let's keep something else in mind. One of the benefits of being that number 1 seed is you get to play first, you get to watch the other person play their match, and you get a little break. Lazybear got a very short break, as we noted specifically at the time. This is a stamina thing too, so I think this is really going to be rough to come back from.
Yeah. And here comes Lazybear with the delegate option. Gonna go get a flirt. We're a minute in, nothing done. That bar took a long time to resolve.
Yeah, I really did. So you were there for a long time, and that's pretty rough. It looks like he wanted to maybe delegate to the seduction target. That was the person he was standing close to, but Pearls comes in right after him and stands a little closer. So if the goal was to delegate to Slim or Cowboy specifically, Pearls might have messed you up there. Let's see.
Now, the early delegate's a very interesting thing, because delegate's so strong as a final mission, especially on Aquarium.
Yes.
So like, what are the benefits here of doing this early delegate, right? So we're gonna get lowlights on our delegator. So Dowsey's gonna be not watching the list for a little bit.
Yep. He's gonna notice it a little late. But he's going to have it down. And I actually agree with you. I don't understand why we've seen so many early delegates. It's much more powerful at the end, yeah. I mean, I guess you can get away with it totally clean then, but, you know, I think maybe overthinking it just a little bit.
Gonna go back here. Check our watch. Dowsey, I think, might be noticing now that the list is gone.
Yeah, and Dowsey has a pretty good memory for this. It's not photographic or anything. He's never almost always like, oh, these 4 people were at bar, I'm sure. But he does a pretty good job of being like, I'm pretty sure these 2 or 3 people weren't there. Look at what did I just say? There it is. That's the switch. He does the safe thing.
And that path was gross. I think he's just going to get shot for that. Yeah, Here it goes.
Right in the heel. The Achilles heel. Lazybear goes down. Alice dead again.
Like he was suspicious enough for the bug. But then the path through that conversation was just like, you just can't get away with that against Dowsey.
This is the Dead Alice tournament. Half of them are spies, half of them are not, but they're all Alice, and it's 4-0 Dowsey. Speaking of 1 foot in the grave, God, oh man, Lazybear cannot afford to give up anything else.
Dowsey cannot afford to keep going up. He's gonna lose like this.
Yeah, it's gonna be even worse now when he loses. Really, you got to throw a game here, dude. Otherwise, this isn't gonna work.
Well, actually, last time, no one went to 4-0.
That's a good point.
The person who was down had at least 1 in the first 4 games.
So what you're saying is there's actually a small chance that going up 4-0 might lead to victory.
Yeah,
we can't rule it out.
Yeah, we got to do some more testing on this one, I suppose. Our sample size is as gargantuan as it is. I think we need more.
100% of the time, both times.
Fingerprint, and that's just done fingerprinting. We're done with that mission already. We're not pilot for it.
And you might be credited for 1. It's hard to say. But what I like about this, actually, too, is that it's just going to put Lazybear to a tough shot, right? Because if you play a nice, clean game like this and you do the inspects, you're going to finish with all Softels. And you can get shot for that, absolutely, certainly. But that will be a non-definitive shot for Lazybear. It'll be a tough shot when you can't afford another loss. And why not, when you're up 4-0, just make the sniper take a bunch of tough shots in a row and they have to hit all of them?
Our ST is just... She's just like, come here.
Yep.
We want to flirt. And that's a free flirt.
It's the pheromones, really. It attracts the STs. It's really good. And then, what do they get for their trouble? Delegated to... And Lazybear's on it. Okay. He's got it. He's totally got it.
Okay.
And Dowsey is so lucky that flirt timer, that delegate timer expired, I think.
Yeah, he gets marked suspicious, actually.
Yep. Wait. Was it the flirt or the delegate that expired?
It was the delegate. And I think Lazybear's actually on this, I think.
Yep. He is so lucky that Purloin didn't happen because Lazybear totally saw what was happening. Totally. He was about to shoot him.
Yeah, because he lowlights Orange Dress here.
And I know we're not supposed to call her Irish, but she just finished her drink at bar and immediately took another drink and sipped it. So, I mean, come on. It's getting a little tough here. I can say that because I'm part Irish, by the way.
Yeah, so am I. Fantastic.
Okay, good. So we're not in trouble. It's one of the stereotypes nobody really minds because it's charming.
Yes.
So yeah, Dowsey did a bit of a move there, but clearly was not, I don't think, going to survive that. Lazybear was really just banking on it.
Yeah. So and like, what does Dowsey do? Oh, he does bring Orange Dress back up. That's critical.
That's pretty significant.
This is an insanely good BB, but it doesn't matter. We get shot for it.
Wow, Lazybear was on him. Lazybear looks like a different sniper all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Where are the awful accents here in Dasks?
Uh, that one, those didn't make it to Ellis Island for me, I guess. I'm enough of a mix. Scott, German, Irish, which just means I don't sound like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lazybear keeps hope alive with not just a win, but a really solid win. He was all over that move right there.
Yeah, no, DOWSEY just got seen through basically that game. Like,
Yes.
that is the game you feel really good about on Sniper because you just you feel like you've just controlled the game so well.
Yes.
You're sure, and you're like, I've got you.
It's a tough shot, right? It's a little risky because you don't have anything definitive, but it's just such a satisfying one, and it's going to make the spy maybe... You don't want to say play scared. DOWSEY's not going to play scared, but he's going to have to play a little more careful now. He's on notice a little bit. Yeah. So that's a significant shot, and I actually kind of like it down 4-0. I think you got to make something happen there. And a shot like that, a really good soft tail shot, is as good as any to start a turnaround.
We AI control into conversation. Our AI talks for us instantly.
Boo, bad AI.
I mean, at some point that becomes AI-like, right? Because what spy would talk in conversation?
At some point, but you know what? Like, if you just weren't so lazy, Lazybear, taking control. If you take control sooner, this wouldn't have happened. So I say you deserve what you get. Be diligent, Bear.
And we're winding down to the first minute in, and still have nothing. I think we might go flirt here.
Yeah, you can't resist the flirt BB into a full conversation. Yes, you can. What on earth?
I mean, I think Lazybear's issue was that he's going back to basically the same spot in conversation to follow his ST who wasn't there before.
I suppose,
so it looks bad, basically.
A little bit. You're not going to be next to them, though, so there is that, but I get it, certainly.
So we get this drink. We sip our drink. Our water. Because obviously Seek only drinks water.
Not a drinker, not able to take advantage of this generous open bar, and my God, look at all that alcohol back there.
Yes, look at these massive
Can I just
stacks.
say, I gotta say, all those bottles look way too ornate to be water, personally, but maybe there's something underneath the bar we can't see.
Yeah, there's got to be a tap of water. Oh, but there's mechanical errors recently.
There's been a lot. There's been a surprising number, given that all these players are obviously very, very good.
Yes.
But I mean, I do it too. It happens to all of us. That's a pretty decent number of lowlights. That's a good 5 available if he gets them all.
Yeah, green test here for the flirt, so we do get very good progress on that.
And we do get all 5, including Smallman. And this party is well in hand with very little mission progress, and the delegate timer has expired from Lazybear too, so you got 2 minutes and you got to get something done soon, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, you might try to make DOWSEY misshoot, but the issue with that is DOWSEY just doesn't do that very often.
He will misshoot if you put it into overtime a little more often. Yeah. Generally speaking, you'll get civ shots, but you still mostly need to complete missions against him. He's really, really surprisingly patient. It's unnerving, and I hate it, frankly.
Yeah, the problem with misshooting in overtime is the fact that that's not really a miss shot. Right, that's still just a mission completely, in my opinion.
I agree. There's so you're right. Psychologically, if you're prepping for someone and trying to assess what's likely going to get by them, you don't categorize that the same way you categorize a normal civ shot.
But as we're saying that, DOWSEY,
one of our fellow casters, throwing us under the bus.
As the caster curse.
Yep. And that little crack of daylight. Little wider now. Doors open a little wider for Lazybear. 2 in a row.
4-2.
And this is a tiny little thing. I don't want to read too much into this, but DOWSEY got into that next game real quick.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of thing you do, certainly the kind of thing I do, when I'm a little frustrated.
Right. And here we are. You know, this is a bug. This is a really nice bug. DOWSEY's been setting up for those bugs right there very nicely. Yep. It's actually a spot he seems to quite like.
Yes. So he's very good at basically saying these are the paths the ambo will take. If they're turning right, they'll go here. If they're turning left, they'll go there. And that little corner in particular, they're going to come by you every time. So it's almost free, and you never get seen behind a shark with the ambassador.
Yes.
So it's very interesting. Now, here's the question. If you're a jumpy sniper, you're crediting maybe anyone with bug, potentially, right? Because you're not necessarily counting the 5 or 6 people who could have done it unseen.
Right.
if you have a really good sense of it, then that bug is actually really powerful. If the sniper is just crediting a lot of people with bug just by default, like you would on TN, for example, a little less valuable because they might think you have it anyway.
Yeah. As far as that bug goes, setting like again, as I said, awareness of the party is one of the things that brings you up from intermediate to high level play. That's another one, and it's kind of meshes in with the awareness of the party factor.
Yeah. It's the same skill, even though it's applied in different ways.
Yeah, it's the same skill applied in different ways, exactly. And that's why I just love saying I love saying that to newer players, and that's kind of like my mantra for anyone who asks, how do I get better at this game? Especially on Spy, attention to the party. Play Sniper while you play Spy.
That's very well put. Play Sniper while you play Spy. Think about what you would be worried about if you were Sniper, right? You see an early statue rush, you see someone who could have white swapped immediately. You're going to be worrying about that all game as a Sniper. So you should be worrying about that almost as much as a Spy.
Yeah, and we've got Bug, we've got Seduce, and Fingerprint. We can go Contact and probably take a fingerprint off this bar. DOWSEY looks, he knows that there's a fingerprint going to be on this bar, and he's going to Contact probably right here. Oh wait, no, the DA left us, so never mind.
Yeah, this is a very strange decision. I'm not sure why he headed there, because you figured DA, Fingerprint, dare him to take the shot. I think he's just trying to idle it because he has all that time.
He will go pick up this fingerprint, though. That is something he's going to do. It's
actually really fortunate that nobody went to bar for a little while there, because now you have a nice long delay. You do pick up a highlight for it, but
yeah,
you get a nice long delay. Yeah, so the Amba hasn't been there in a while, though. This is really, really nice.
Now we're going to go over here to the DA conversation. And this is where I think if Lazybear is going to win, he's going to win because he realizes that his other two highlights, they've been in this conversation for forever, and they haven't BD'd yet. Oh!
I like this.
Oh,
wow! I was going to say he was going to leave himself the option to BB either way. Instead, he delegates to the DA, and I think he's specifically hoping it won't be watched because it's cast, but look what the cast does. He goes to the side. There'll be no body block. That's actually very different. Where they decide to go, if they go to the side of the bar, it's totally different than if they go to the front.
Yeah, that's really big.
But the Shark's blocking it!
No, the Shark's there. Contact. Contact. Purloin happens. He's not in real. I think this is actually really smart. He's not... Yep. Wait, but no one has real BB.
Yep.
If anyone had real BB there, that would have been so incredibly good. Just because, like,
it looks desperate.
One, it can distract. Two, it if he's not, he knows he doesn't have a real BB.
Yep.
And he knows he doesn't, and he knows Lazybear knows he doesn't. If that makes sense.
So right, as long as nobody else comes into the conversation after you delegate to the DA, you know for a fact you're not going to be in a real BB conversation.
Yeah.
Because for those who don't know, the SDA will never enter the same conversation as the real DA. So as long as nobody else has entered that conversation, he knows for a fact it's fake, it's going to look desperate, and it has the benefit of distracting for a couple seconds after the purloin has gone off. I don't actually know if he needed to do all that. It looked like he was actually in pretty good shape anyway, but it works, and he's up 5-2.
Yeah, 5-2.
And Lazybear says, I was down by this exact score. Big deal.
Yes, now...
Right where I want you.
This is his comfort spot right here.
Yeah.
Winning that overtime time, I suppose.
Yes. I mean, it's hard not to root for it. It'd be very dramatic. As a caster, I have to root for A, the underdog, and B, the most dramatic thing to happen when I'm not rooting for people. Which is usually the underdog anyway, so don't take offense, anyone, DOWSEY, Kaylee, anyone who usually wins a lot of their games. I'm just rooting for the drama. I gotta do it. It's with the job description.
Yeah. And it's early. We're just flirting. We got a green flirt. It's great. We're having a good time.
It's a party. You should be having a good time.
Yeah, we're listening to some other people talk about their day and the work that they've been doing in their charities and such.
Yep. The twins are talking about how awkward it is that they wore the same outfit, all that stuff.
Yes, that's my headcanon. That's the only thing they talk about now in my headcanon.
Yes. Is, hey, I thought I was wearing the blue suit today. Now we're so hard to tell apart. Well, hopefully that doesn't result in one of our murders. I don't know why it would. I don't even know why I said that.
One of them is a spy. I planned this all along.
Yeah, well, in this case, one of them's a double agent, so it sort of makes sense. Ooh, does Lazybear... Was that
was
supposed to be a briefcase redirect, or did he get caught on that corner like I did twice yesterday, by the way?
Yeah, I think he might have gotten caught in the corner. That it didn't. Like, no one picked up the briefcase, right?
So I actually think the bar's hitbox might extend beyond that actual corner because A, I got caught on it twice and I'm awesome, so that would never happen just by mistake. And B, you notice when the AI goes around that corner, they take a weird little wonky circular path around it into the other side of the bar. So I think there might be just a little bit of like maybe a little bit of the model sticking out there. We're gonna have to see.
Yeah, pathing on this venue is actually pretty distinctive. It feels sometimes with some of the paths like pub pathing, which has some very, very hard to replicate or very, very distinctive pathing that you can lowlight for.
Right. You have to if the spy does not know it, you can get a lot of cheap lowlights. Absolutely.
Yeah, and here's the double green flirt. It's still our only mission, and we only got a 1 minute 30 seconds left to go, which is a little bit rough. But I think that's kind of the point. We're just not doing anything.
The double green flirt, yeah, it's worth a lot less when you finished it with about a minute and a half left, because all the things that opens up are already closed off.
Well, it wouldn't be that, bad, except for the fact that we haven't done anything in the interim between getting those double greens.
Right. Yeah, so, right, it's late enough in the game that they're crediting flirt for a lot of people already. That's the real thing. The power of the double green flirt is that you finish it before it can be realistically credited to a lot of people, and they're going to hold their shot, and if you rush missions, those few extra seconds can make all the difference in the world. Nobody wants to shoot on Aquarium, where there's probably plenty of Civ shots, in the first couple minutes of the game.
Furling comes off. How does DOWSEY react?
He does not, as far as I can tell. There's no visible reaction. Are we gonna get there? The lowlights. There. It's funny. There's like a 7 or 8 second gap after every purloin for DOWSEY, unless he's sitting on it already, where he sort of thinks about it, remembers a few people who weren't at bar, and then takes the lowlights. But he only got a few this time.
Do you think Lazybear goes just statue to statue to finish?
Yes, I think so. Yes. Top shark, back statue. Got to shoot before he gets there. I think.
I mean, DOWSEY can kind of no. I mean,
it's going to be OT. That's the problem. Yep, OT is what's going to ruin this, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Lazybear gets away with this.
No.
Or I mean, he could. He's not really a suspect.
He's holding the statue up. He sees it. He sees it.
Yeah. Cowboy almost got in the way, and Shark almost got in the way.
He looked like he shot him through the shark because he locked on just before Cowboy and the shark come across. Look at that angle. Oh, Yisha's on it. Good job, buddy. That was so cool looking. The shark's eye comes into the frame at the last second. He just gets it. That almost worked.
Yeah, but now DOWSEY, he's on match point for how many games?
4. Match point
look
times
at this.
4.
Instant green flirt with the shark, and he goes to books. That's crazy.
Yep, that's pretty crazy. And that's a big one, because 5-3 for Lazybear, totally doable. Totally doable. 6-2 on the other hand is pretty freaking rough. I think he actually played that pretty well, and I think that almost worked. I think if he goes 2 or 3 seconds earlier, he wins.
Green microfilm with like wheels in the way there, with no shark visible, like covering vision. That's actually really strong. I think is how the microfilm meta can be shaping up here.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, you're saying microfilm when the shark isn't blocking in particular, maybe. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. If you hit the green in particular, especially on the left shelf, because with the left shelf, your right hand goes down and it's not as noticeable. I saw someone do a green microfilm as Seek on the left shelf, the blue shelf, and it's basically invisible if you're not staring at it. It's really rough. And you can't afford to be selling out on that, usually.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have partial progress on 2 missions, Seduce and Microfilm. We don't have any suspicion as far as I'm aware. I don't see why we would.
It's hard to say, but something about the camera movement after that microfilm just made me think Lazybear might be onto it. I'm really not sure.
He did mark the book. That is something he like, and Lazybear is well known to mark books, right? So it might have just been for that. However, you're right. It could possibly be.
It's hard to say. What's interesting about this, too, is you still have the option of using the shark for the other one. It's being behind the shark at both shelves that really makes the sniper want to shoot sometimes. It's almost like just second statue visit, right?
And I'd like to point out how many lowlights there are right now.
Yeah, Lazybear, I think what's happening is he's becoming a little more familiar with DOWSEY Spy, and he's a little more comfortable taking some of these softer ones. He's made a lot of assumptions here, and so far they are all correct.
Right. So we finish our Seduce, 2 minutes left, half the time gone, but we're not, trapped by needing to do that late anymore.
No, because there are 3 different hardtails you could do with very little notice, which is very nice. I think, actually, this is probably right. I understand the value of a rush, but on the other hand, we've seen this already. You can just get shot because you were at Aquarium for a while.
Yeah.
It's just a really suspicious... It's inherently suspicious to be on Aquarium. So if you just kill a couple minutes, there's like maybe a 1 in 3 shot against a good sniper. They might feel the need to take the shot anyway.
Yeah, and I think DOWSEY's looking at this party trying to, figure out when to contact that would be the best. But lowlights just keep coming off.
Yep. I think he's probably not actually going to have a particularly good sense of who is still a suspect.
Yeah. This might be getting rough for DOWSEY trying to win this.
So now it's really significant that the BB hasn't come off because Walt is at back statues with Top Shark, and if the BB had already come off, that's one of those scary gut check moments. But it hasn't, so he hasn't.
Yeah.
I think we're in trouble here. I think it's just going to be BB and Hope, and I don't know what happens if it doesn't work. Rush time ad? I don't see how he can finish.
I suppose. Smallman might
well, the Amba comes near us. That's one way we can finish.
That's a good bug, actually. But
not good enough.
It's good in that the hand does eventually get covered up by the Ambassador moving in, but it didn't happen. Lazybear saw it before it got covered up, which is the big, the important part, because you do get shot for that.
I'm really curious what the plan was there. It really seems like he was selling out on the Civ shot on the banana bread. But what I really want to know is, was Lazybear actually onto him, like we were talking about before, or was it that he was able to stare at whoever the Amba came near because he'd narrowed the party down so much with those low lights? And hey, there's a delay for this game. I think DOWSEY's taking a look at that log and thinking, okay, what's he onto? What assumptions is he making that I can punish him for if I don't win this next sniper game?
Yeah, and as far as that goes, you mentioned earlier, DOWSEY doesn't like to time out. He timed out no times last
Pretty
season.
sure it was no times. I will confirm that. But yeah, it definitely wasn't many. I'll tell you that much.
Man after my own heart over here.
Yes. And a lot of the Challenger spies last year, they were so aggressive and active. I'd like to think that they learned from watching Kaylee win. Is that they just thought, well, clearly this is the way to go. 0 timeouts in 47 spy games in Challenger last season.
That is quite the statistic for sure.
And so it's hard to imagine he was going to there. On the other hand, what that really means is that when he sells out on a frame or something, he just goes and rushes and does something like a timeout and gets shot anyway. So it doesn't actually inform you that much. It doesn't mean he can't slow play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, some people, when they try to slow play me and DOWSEY, I do this a lot as well. If suddenly I don't think they're going to be shooting during my slow play, during my frames,
yes,
okay, well, I guess I could maybe win this game if I do this.
It's the difference between a Slappy Davis and a Canadian Bacon. Slappy Davis will slow play, but then he will either rush or time ad late if it doesn't work. Canadian Bacon will literally just say, okay, time out. And he will do that. I don't know if this is why he does that, but this is the result. It will pay dividends in future games once you've proven you're willing to do that. The same way you'll get more Civ shots when you have a reputation for mission wins.
Yeah.
So it's not that rare for a spy to slow play. It is that rare for a spy to slow play and say, yeah, fine, timeout, I don't care, rather than try to force a timeout at the end. That is actually very rare.
So there are a lot of people at bar early on in this game, and there are two schools of thought on that. There's the go to bar with them so you can get a purloin off.
Yep.
Or you can go do other things while the sniper is focusing on the bar.
Exactly. And I find it very interesting to see what kind of assumptions you make. I will say that if the roles were reversed, if it were DOWSEY, he would do the counterintuitive thing. He would go away from bar.
Oh, bug Ambassador while walking, and I mean we get that bug with the shark cover.
Total cover, and I'm not sure if Teal was seen for 90% of that. The shark made her available just when she stopped moving. Just when she stopped moving.
We get assumed real!
Lazybear has been checking those replays, and he banks on it, and it works, and now he's taking advantage. It's not a free win. DOWSEY will still catch you as a lowlight if you do something obvious. But if you're Lazybear, the whole point of doing this is that you now complete missions. I think you complete missions, though, with relatively subtle things. You do things like a delegate.
I think that you can't finish missions with a contact, though. That's the thing. Because if you do, if DOWSEY remembers he low at you for fake, he'll bring you right back up.
He will reassess at that point, yes.
And even that might actually end up being more suspicious.
Yep. I was just about to say go get that flirt, and that's what he's going to do. I think you want to flirt. You could do a real BB at the very end. Because 10 seconds is a very short amount of time to reassess a bunch of lowlights and decide whether or not to shoot, and they might shoot someone else anyway, especially because you're probably not going to be a suspect for the delegate if you do it clean. So I would, now that this flirt is done, I would get a delegate, come back, finish the flirt, and look for a real BB after.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be my move right now. If you think you're low lit, and again, why do that if you're not banking on the low light? The whole point is to assume you're low lit.
Well, I mean, there is a possibility that it was accidental, but it was a good enough BB that it's very easily not
It's
accidental.
possible. If it is accidental, that is a bit of a coincidence, given that we've seen DOWSEY do this over and over again, too. So, I don't know. He might be doing exactly what I'm saying. What is that?
We brought back up, put back down.
Maybe just in case it was direct, I think, is what's going on.
Right,
and
yes, that might be it.
Lazybear's going to go kill some time to see where this ST ends
With
up.
a double agent.
Yep.
So
and
perhaps.
I think this is so soon to that reassessment, to being reminded of Teal's existence, that it's going to get him brought back up, I think.
Yeah, looks like it.
Red.
DA leaves as it happens! That's going to throw everything off.
Yeah, there's no way. How do we finish now?
I don't see how. The ST has got briefcase.
We can purloin, we can rush to go get another contact, I suppose?
Yep, you need Irish to go into that conversation. You need her to.
She doesn't.
She doesn't. I actually like this move. Bump into the ST to see if they go anyway.
Take this finger.
I don't see the point of this. What is the idea here?
I don't know.
Oh, hope he shoots Seek. See that it's gone and shoot. Seek hasn't taken yet, though, and it's under 10 seconds. I don't see how it works.
It expired!
That's going to be it. He's going to have to time add. This is the tournament.
There's not enough time, and that's DOWSEY winning the entirety of the tournament on a timeout held shot by...
With a low light.
Yeah.
Lazybear gets the low light, and it doesn't work in the end. Can't complete missions. I think the problem is that he didn't actually behave like a low light. I think I love the move, but the whole point of the move is you go and do missions. I think you still leave yourself some outs because we know, of course, we were just saying that DOWSEY's highlights and lowlights are very fluid. So you can't just rush, swap, and bug and all sorts of messy stuff, right? That's not going to work. So you do the subtle thing still, but you still do it pretty steadily. I think what I was saying before was you go to bar, you try to go flirt immediately, you delegate and you BB, and you do the BB at the end so he has so little time to reassess. I think that was the way to go. So close to getting back in that game, but instead DOWSEY continues acting like the wrecking ball that he's been and takes the whole tournament.
Yes, he does. And that's our tournament, honestly. that's the whole thing. It's done.
Yeah.
And DOWSEY's our victory.
You really can't dispute the idea that, the person who played the best over the 2 days actually won.
Oh yeah, DOWSEY absolutely was the strongest performer, and that showed. He won the tournament doing that.
Yeah, he absolutely did. A little help from the Shark now and then, but he did it in both manners. He did it with the cheese and the game plan that he repeated over and over again a little bit yesterday. Not every game, but a lot of games. And then he did it with the counterplay today, coming back too. And it turns out going up 4-0 actually somehow against all odds actually worked for him. And thanks so much for organizing this, bud.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, helping to cast, even though I know you have another one coming up later.
In about 3.5 hours, I've got to do this for a little bit longer. My voice is already going a little bit. Thank God I wasn't playing too. It was going to be. I missed the cutoff by one game. Thanks a lot, David W. Shakes fist. But really, just tremendously played, and I really like in particular that these show off the new venues and that they advance the meta very quickly. We get to crash course these venues and find out what works and what doesn't. And what we're finding out so far is that even if you could have bugged, it's hard to credit the bug. And that microfilm is still not very popular. and that there are several viable highlight strategies, certainly. And that etiquette and behavioralism really work well.